Hello everyone, it's Robert. Most of you know me better as Torvald. As most of you know at this point, we just lost my father. Because of current circumstances with COVID restrictions, we were not able to be there with him when he passed. And we're not actually able to get together as a family at the moment either. My mother fortunately has a friend there with her, and my sisters are close enough that they can go visit her, and I'll be going over very shortly. I wanted to share a few things about my dad. It's tough from a memory standpoint from when I was a kid, because I was in a car accident when I was 12 years old, and I lost most of my childhood memories. But when I spoke to my dad a few days ago on the phone, which was the only way that I could talk to him at all, a memory did come to me, one that I did have still left, very vivid. And the details are becoming clearer and clearer each time that I think about it, and I talked about it with my brother when I called him. But it's also very apropos to the current season. It's from a Christmas. The Christmas that I remember best in my entire life. This took place, I was maybe 9 or 10 years old, I think. Maybe even as young as 8. My mother will probably remember. It took place in Port Clinton, Ohio. It was the first time that I lived in Ohio when I was pretty young. And I can actually remember the house perfectly. It was a big 2-story, 3-bedroom house, full basement. And I can just, in my mind, walk through the whole house again. And my father had spent weeks, maybe even a few months, working on a dollhouse for my sister, Shelley. Amy was just a baby at the time. Shelley was 4 or 5, I think. And we're not talking about just your run-of-the-mill dollhouse. This thing was huge. He made it for my sister so she could play with her Barbie dolls with it. And the Barbies back then were the 12-inch tall Barbie dolls. And it was 2 stories tall, and it was 4 or 5 feet long with a garage. It had a stairway in it. He built all the furniture for it. And the funny thing is that I think that I ended up playing with it more than my sister did. Because at the time I was really into G.I. Joe dolls, and this is again back when G.I. Joes were 12 inches tall, not the little action figures that they turned into later. The big ones with the kung fu grip. And I don't know how many times I played attack the house or defend the house with my G.I. Joes. And the present that I remember the best that year for me. So my parents had gotten me a G.I. Joe howitzer. this was for a GI Joe. It was a full-scale replica. I mean, it was huge, and it fired shells that were about 5 inches long and about 2 inches around, and you could launch them across the entire room. And so I would attack the house with my howitzer and defend the house with my GI Joes. So I remember that Christmas right now more and more vividly each time I tell it, which is one of the reasons why I am pushing to tell it now. 2 other memories associated with that time there were my dad teaching me to ice skate on Lake Erie when it had frozen, going fishing at a pond behind a friend's house, ice skating there as well. There aren't a whole lot of memories from my childhood that I can associate so well with my dad as those. So I wanted to get this story down while I could, and a need to be able to talk about my dad right now. And they say that friends of the family you choose for yourself, and so that's why I'm sharing this story with all of you right now. So if you want to make some other type of tangible support, like to request that maybe you consider a donation to the Alzheimer's Association. I believe their website is alz.com, Alpha Lima, Alpha Lima Zebra.com. There's a button right on the main page where you can click to donate. Any amount will help them. There's also a box you can check if you want to say in honor of or in memorial of. And you can put my father's name. It's mine, Robert James Kepke, K-O-E as in Edward, P as in Paul, K-E. No second on it, that's me. Any amount there would be a blessing in his name. Unfortunately, with the way things stand, there's not going to be a viewing. There's not going to be a memorial service. It's all going to be just within the family for now. Might do something much later down the road, but that's all that's going on right now. So, bless you all. Thank you.